What's going on, guys? 118 Seth Shadow here. So let's go straight into today's market watch with Uma Musume, which we're still on pre-sale status for this one. It's coming out on the 8th of next month, so we've only got a few weeks to go before we can start playing with this set, which is also the same date that Shenlong's restriction goes into effect. So we'll see we'll probably see a pretty different meta in comparison to what Japan had, because we do have other restrictions on Uma Musume that are getting applied to us immediately with this set, as compared to Japan, where they did not have those restrictions at first. But we're looking at boxes at $74 for the pre-sales, and they have been bought already. 4 listings left to go. I mean, it's pre-sale, so you can still shop around at other shoppers to see if you can find some other prices. But I will note that for the booster cases, TCG Player still shows 20 for the number of cases in the photo, but if you take a look at the description of the product, they note the 8 cards per pack, the 16 per box, but there's also only 16 boxes per case. Just like with Reign of Bahamut, where we all initially thought it was going to be 20 boxes, but it really is, it should only be 16. So just keep that in mind when going to purchase this item, particularly the case. Now, let's go ahead and just take a look at promos. Mostly just going to skim through the first several. I want to take a look at the tournament promos overall. But I guess there's also a good note that Leonidas has dropped into the 30s, and that's our showdown promo for this month and last month, so that was quite a drop off. But Bolt, King of the Elves, is the first one to start us off at. It's the most expensive right now at $338 base, and the highest market price at $549. Precious Bloodfangs has a market price almost at $550, but its lowest listing is almost $2. Witch Bolt $239, market price is also in the fives. Sarah $3, market price isn't even $5. Then you've got Wildfang Dragon Newt at almost $250, market price $416. And listings for these, if we go back and look, there are over 20 listings of each of these promos available. Beaskull Aria also has over 20 listings and is $250. And then you've got Archangel Rena, who's the only one under 20 listings, but it's still $2.20 to pick up base. And the market price is actually the lowest of the lot. Then, of course, you've got the original tournament promos, like, let's see, the Evo Floral Fencer, you've got Lilith and Elven Princess Mage, all the evolved forms, and only Floral Fencer is above $1 right now. Then we keep taking a look at some other ones, like Priest of the Cudgel, who's still under $1 base. Its market price is at over $1, though. We mix in some of the box toppers from set 1, which are now out of print. And then, of course, you've got stuff like Dragon Warrior sitting at the very back here, where it used to be the most expensive of those tournament promos, and now its market price is actually under $1 in comparison to the others, which is kind of hilarious. But promos have really dropped off, with the exception of some of the new ones, but ultimately they're all just taking tanks. I think Arya is the only one that really kind of holds in some capacity. Going into set 2, looking at boxes of Reign of Bahamut, we are at $60, and they're still selling for $60, with a good amount of listings to pick from at this point. Overall, 21 listings that you can pick from. And considering that Reign of Bahamut does have our most expensive legendary in the game right now, I'm sure there is some desire to just go in and hope that if you can pull that Olivia, it really just covers most of the box. Speaking of which, Olivia is running out of quantities on its base legendary and is now at 2 listings. $44 is the base, and if you want the super legendary, I guess I have to talk about it now, $81, and the market price is $72. 3 listings to go on that one. And if we take a look at history, I mean, I had already mentioned that there weren't too many listings left of this, but players have been picking this up at $40 and just over that. So, I mean, hopefully it might take a turn once Uma Musume comes in, but that's going to be some analysis that will come later. Dragonsong flute is currently around $10, and ultimately it's just kind of been hovering around this point. It's been teeter-tottering, and listings mostly just sell between 10 and 12 recently. When we look at this 941, it does have a $2 shipping tag, I see why, and not a star seller. Most of the listings that are available are basically $11 right now, so a decent price for the flute, but again, for a legendary, it starts to get on the borderline of expensive. Alexander is the same way, where it's about $10 if you want to pick up the base legendary, but it looks like the super legendary has some listings around 15 or not. That's a lightly played, and it has a $5 shipping tag. Wow, baited. So we got $20 on Alexander's super legendary, so it's double the price of the base one. Might as well take a look and make sure we're not getting baited here either. Interesting. We do have one listing available right now, $7.50 and 3 copies. That's a nice grab, although it does have a $2 shipping tag. But yeah, if you buy all 3, that justifies the $2 shipping tag. You've got Trick Doulahan as well, which is a silver, and for a Biscraft, right now it's really cheap. Underneath 25 cents for its market price. And if you want the foil, it's under $4 market price and under $3.50 for the base one. And it's got 13 listings, so not too bad for a foil at all. Crystalia Lily's foil. We talked about this one before, and let's see. No one's really been buying it for the last week, but players did buy this in November, all up to the point of $15, and selling it for 10 seems to be pretty simple. We only have 3 listings left on it, starting at 16, and then it moves its way up to 20. And I mean, this card has good application down the line, even if its search ability is not the greatest. The Evo is the real reason to play the card, simply because of the fact that it spins cards, making them inaccessible to the player afterward for a while. But I mean, if you want to pick up the base ones, the Evolved form is the more expensive one for the regular rarities at 38 cents and market price 57, and the base one is underneath 20 cents if you want to pick that up. And if you want the foil of the Evo, it's $4.25 to start with and has 6 listings. Market price on that isn't even $4 yet. Taking a quick look at tokens, ultimately, we've always talked about Otohime Bodyguard being one of the more expensive ones that you can pick from, but that has long passed, and it's now 52 cents if you want to pick it up. Market price is still around $1, but at least it's not $2, $3 anymore. One thing I will note, though, is that all these high-priced tokens here all come from the starter decks. If you look further down, you will find those same tokens somewhere, like here. You've got, I mean, the fairy's been printed twice, so has the forest bat, so just be aware that unless you really want the starter deck printed code for each of these tokens, you can go into the second page and easily find most of those tokens far cheaper than the ones that you will get for the trial decks. That's just a point in mind if you're trying to pick up tokens in this game. Then we'll go into Advent of Genesis, which is currently pretty far down for its booster boxes. You can see the overall trend downward there, and now we can pick them up for $53, and market price is just over $55 here. So easy to pick up, and with waves that have just been coming, I think this made the most recent wave this month. Are there going to be more waves? I'm not sure. I'll have to ask around and see, but I would imagine maybe not, because we have seen a lot of printings of this pack. And of course, we've got the poster boy of the pack, who has really fallen from grace, no pun intended. Lucifer is down in price quite a lot as expected, at under $4 if you want to pick up its base rarity. And if we take a look at some of the other ones that are available right now, the Evo is still really cheap, under $1, And if you want the super legendary of the Evo, that's under $10. The market price is over 10 though. And even the base version super legendary is under $15. Can't say the same for the market price. But overall, we have a lot of listings of Lucifer on the market, and it's probably just going to get ignored for quite a while. Maybe a tech in here and there, but I can't imagine it going back up anytime for a while. Demonic Strike. We all know about the promo cards value, but base listings have now dropped underneath $200 for that, and we've got 9 listings. As we have more of the regionals, I mean, that was bound to be the case. But the regular silver that's available in set 1 is $1.15 base, and market price is almost $1.50. But it's got 46 copies on the market, so you have leeway to pick this up later if you want to see if it'll go down. Juno Secret Laboratory. This one is still a really cheap one to pick up as a gold from set 1, where its market price is barely above 30 cents, and it's got 75 listings at this point. If you want the ultimate rare, of course, that one is still up in value around $50, and the market price is $55. And I believe there's some analysis out there, I think by Shadowverse, who had mentioned that we might see some more play of Dirt Rune coming with Uma Musume. But again, we do have a different format given the restrictions that we've got, so it might be different overall. And then Elfchild May is also a card that I don't really cover so much. It never tends to get much movement. But ultimately, if you want to pick up Elfchild May, I will note that the foil is down from the times I talked about it. It's $3 to pick up, market price is $4. And if you want the regular silver, under $1 easily. So listings are high in quantity. And given that the current control builds do want Lily to be able to search cards, this can't be searched by Lily, so I don't think you'll see as many players play this card right now. And then we've got Ancient Alchemist, which is... I'm looking at the Evolve version of this one right now. I mean, as I've said before, gold Evos tend to be more expensive than their non-Evo counterparts. And right now the card is just around $1 if you want to pick it up for any listings that are around here. It did have a fallout, apparently, in terms of market price, but it's just hovered around the $1 mark since then. And we take a look at the regular Ancient Alchemist, which is, again, significantly cheaper. There are 19 listings left on the gold of the Evo, which is actually a pretty good amount, given that it's usually just really short to pick up on these. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys later.